Hello and welcome to each one of you to this new video of online lessons. Without further ado, let's begin. For today we'll be looking at grade 10 paper 2, the correction of homework, flowchart, data validation, data verification, and test data. The first question that we had as homework was a question from June 2019, paper 2, question 3, whereby we had a flowchart and we had to dry run the values of this flowchart in the table given. So we start with the values of count, total, and distinction, and these values are set to 0 at the beginning. So count, total, distinction. We're going to input the mark. The first mark is 50, and then we are going to check if this mark is less than 1. Sorry, if the mark is equal to -1. So the mark is not equal to -1. We'll get the mark is greater than 80. No, mark is not greater than 80. So we're going to update the values of count and total. The total will become 50. We go up again and we'll put the value of the next mark, which is 70. This one will update the count and the total. No update for distinction. Next will be 65. 65, again, values of count and total will be updated, but no update in distinction. Next will be 30. So count and total updated. Count and total updated. Distinction still no. Next is 95. 95, it will update the distinction part, the count part, and the total part all along. So next input is 50. So 50, it will not update distinction, it will update count and total. So our total will now become 360. The next input is 55. So again, only count and total. The next one is 85. So 85 will update the distinction part. So our distinction will become 2, our count 8, and our total 500. The next mark is 65. So only count and total will be updated. And lastly, we'll be having 35 over here. So our count will become 10 and our total will become 600. And finally we have mark -1. So -1 is mark equal to -1. Yes, we'll be outputting our different results. So when we are going to output, we have to output number of distinctions and distinctions. So number of distinction is 2. Number of distinction is 2. And we have to output the average mark, which is total divided by count. So average mark total divided by count, it becomes 60. That's it. So when we work out this question, you have to be very careful of outputting the prompts given in the flowchart. As you can see, number of distinction is between double quote, and this should be output when you're working out the question. The next question is a question on test data. So in this program, checks that the weight of a basket of fruit is over 1.00 kilogram and under 1.10 kilograms. The weights are recorded in the accuracy of 2 decimal places, and any weight not in this form has already been rejected. So you have to have weights with at least 2 decimal places. We can't make use of weights less than 2 decimal places. So give 3 weights as test data. So we are going to apply the rules of test data. So normally we have 3 types of test data. One which is normal, that is, that will be accepted by the program. The second one is abnormal, that is, that will be rejected by the program. Okay, so we have to input values that are in 2 decimal places. And lastly, we have values which are borderline in the program. In this case, we already have the borders, which is 1.00 and 1.10. So one of the answers will be, let's say, 1.00, and the reason it is a boundary, it is an extreme data type, it's an extreme data. And will be rejected. So it's an extreme or boundary test data. Second one, you have to just input a valid weight. So a valid weight will be anything between 1.00 and less than 1.10. So let's say 1.05. This will be a valid test data, and the reason, we'll just apply, it is a normal test data that will be accepted by the program. And the last one, you just have to input an invalid test data, that is a data which is less than 1.00 or above 1.10. Let's say a very simple one, 1.11. So this one is an abnormal test data, that is, it will be rejected by the program. Here we go. So this is the answer. So you can see 3 marks, 1 mark per valid weight and reason. The next one is again a question on test data. So very easy. So a routine check the weight of melons to be sold in a supermarket. Melons weighing under 0.5 kilograms are rejected, and melons weighing over 2 kilograms are also rejected. So we already have the borderline values, which is 0.5 and 2 kilograms. Give an example of each type of test data for this subroutine. So a normal test data, it's very easy. One which is found between 0.5 and 2, let's say 1.0 kilogram is more than enough. Extreme, it's either, you could say 0.5 kilogram or 2 kilograms. Any one of these two will be a suitable answer, because these are the limits which are used to determine whether a melon is valid or not, whether it's rejected or not. And lastly, abnormal data will be anything that it's below 0.5 or above 2. So let's say 3 kilograms, or we can also say, let's say 0.2